Hey everybody, this is Lindsey, and you're listening to the Double Chins Wagon podcast, the show where millennial moms share the absurdities of living life in rural America and struggling through the realities of being middle-ish class working moms and wives. No topics are off limits, and we are here for all people who no longer have the will to take life seriously. So hop on board the Giggle Wagon with hosts Lindsey, Rae, and Kayla as we explore some of the relatable yet hilarious crannies of everyday life that will leave you feeling like you deserve a gold star for all of the adulting you accomplished today.
The task that I'm going to make him help me with is...
hiccups.
That's not the task I need help with. The task I need help with is loading recycling into the car.
From the store?
Yeah.
Or at home? Okay.
Well, the store, and I have recycling at home that I also need to take. Yeah.
I have to tell Trevor something.
What are we telling Trevor?
That I'm not going
funny?
to this thing that is happening at his work, which is the Ralph Hamilton Circle, which is all the high roller donors at the Historical Society. It's an event for them. They get one exclusive event per year. And I was invited. Usually I am just because of being Trevor's wife, I guess. But this time it was because I helped with the train depot's roof project getting done. And they're going to have it at the depot. And they're going to celebrate the completion of that and all that crap. But I don't feel like going because I'd rather do this. And also, the reason why I told him that I'm not going to be there is because I'm sick of old people this week. So
we feel that.
Because that's pretty much
people part, but
just sick of people.
And, shameless plug, just so you know, if more people wanted to be poll workers, that would be really great because our regions, these rural locations in the northern regions, is actually really difficult to recruit poll workers. So
you know
on
why?
Tuesday when I was working, there's only 4 of us in our precinct that work.
For the entire day?
It's tiresome. Yeah, the entire day. So it makes for a really long day. And I don't know why. Do you know why?
Well,
I don't.
I was going to say because it's boring as shit and there's not enough free Subway sandwiches in the world or pizza that could force me to do that all day.
You know you get paid, right?
I don't even care. It's probably not enough.
I mean, it's not a ton of money. But like if you're someone who has a flexible schedule, it's not no money. I think I make $17 an hour to be the chairperson.
Oh wow, yeah. And plus you have to go to a training and they pay you for that too.
They do pay you for the training. Yeah, and the training's like 3 hours. It's not even that long, to be honest. So more people should be poll workers. You can do shifts. You don't have to be there all day.
And someone will bring you free pizza or Subway. It's a given.
So at our location, we like to do potluck. That way we can kind of spruce out like...
worse. I'm just joking.
Well, when there's only 4 of us, we know exactly who's been cooking.
Yeah, and hopefully how gross their kitchen is or isn't.
I trust the people at my location. I read half a book. So it's not like you do nothing while you're in there.
Did you physically read it or listen?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, I physically read it.
Yeah, but I feel like you're a superwoman when it comes to reading. You read pretty fast, I think.
Probably slightly faster than normal, but I would not consider myself a speed reader. I know plenty of people who read way faster than I do. But I also will read anywhere. I know a weird number of people who need it to be quiet and need it to be in their comfy chair or whatever. I'm not one of those people.
I see. Yeah,
as long as I'm not in a moving vehicle, I'll read.
Oh, yes.
No can read in the car though. Pass.
See, I don't even remember this fun fact about you. But like from our trip down to Chattanooga, I feel like it wasn't a thing that came up, literally and
I
figuratively.
drove
your
most of the
motion
way.
sickness.
No, I drove most of the way. That's why. Because
You're
we were
right.
in Graylene's city
You're
car.
right.
So I think I probably drove
You did.
90% of the time that we were there.
I can't believe that I was sitting in the back seat for some of that because I'm usually not great in the back seat of a car.
Yeah.
And
I
remember
think all the times that I think the times when I wasn't driving, I was probably in the front seat.
Mm-hmm.
Which was when we were in Nashville. And I told you to stay the course. Guys, I'm so good at navigating. We're in the car. We're in Nashville. We're driving home from Chattanooga. We stopped to stay the night in Nashville so we could go out and like do fun
and
things.
play college.
We played college. We all got like dressed up together, did our makeup and like went out to be heathens. Which is very fun because Lindsey does not do throwing up. She does not like seeing people do it or hearing people do it or dealing with it. Hates all of those things. So we went down to Broadway where there's a bunch of fucking drunks puking in the street. It was super great.
And that was literally one of the first things we saw as soon as we got there.
Yeah.
There was a dude barfing on the side of the road. And I'm like, what did you bring me to?
I'm pretty sure that was the end of the night for Lindsey.
I tried to have fun, but my spirit had been thwarted at that moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's not just because of the guy that was barfing. It was because I was smack dab in the middle of everything about America that I absolutely despise. Country music.
Super high commercialism.
Yeah.
Well, earlier in the day, though, we went to the
Bluegrass place.
Yeah.
That was fine.
We did that
fun.
first. Yeah, we did that first. So once we got down to Broadway, the first thing we saw was someone puking.
Yeah,
because we did Bluegrass first, and that was nice.
Yeah, the Station Inn. If any Nashvilleites ever listen, they'll know that that's a legendary spot for bluegrass performances. But yeah,
it was 10 out of 10. I think I've taken people back there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, and it's kind of fun because it's very divey.
Oh, yeah.
Like, is it cash only? I can't remember.
I think we used cash when we were there, but I don't think that it's cash only.
But it was like very limited selection in drinks, very limited selection in food.
And you just they serve you your pimento cheese. They serve you your pimento cheese on a paper plate.
Yeah. Yeah. No bells and whistles, but you're going to get some good music in your face. That's what you're there for.
Yeah. Delicious pimento cheese, cold Coors Light, and bluegrass.
And they save all the bells and whistles for Broadway.
They really do. Which is where you will coincidentally find someone puking in the street.
Barfing.
Probably pretty early in your night. Because I feel like it was something like 9:30 or 10. Like it was relatively early in the night. Like comparatively, it was early.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was like even like an off night. It wasn't even like a weekend. It was like a Thursday night because we were coming home from a training.
It was for sure a weekday. So
yeah.
I don't even want to know what it's like on a Saturday or a Friday.
So the time after that I went, we did go for a weekend, and you would not have liked it. I'm just gonna tell you now. I can guarantee you would not have liked it. Not at all. It's so crowded. It's so noisy. It's so sticky.
I feel like it's just full of bros, but like country bros.
Yeah, a lot of country bros and a lot of bachelorette parties.
Oh yeah.
We actually played a game when we were there. The last time I was there, the group of people I was with, we played a game during the day that every time we found saw a bachelorette party. We all had to find somewhere to take a shot. We were all drunk by like 3:15. So
How do you know you weren't seeing the same one over?
so I do think that we probably saw some of them more than once, but it's also like all of them seem to have like their own little themes, you know?
Yeah.
So like there's a bunch of people in pink, there's a bunch of people in purple, there's a bunch of people with tiaras, there's a bunch of people in animal print. 97 girls in short black dresses. Yeah.
Letting their titties and their vages hang out all over the place. It's all good. So while we're on the topic of Nashville, I think this is a good segue into our first
our first official topic.
Our first official topic, which we introed last week on celebrity crushes. And I really want Rae to start us off because I actually learned about her crush, this particular one that I'm thinking of, on the trip to Chattanooga, I'm pretty sure. I think that's when you revealed that to us.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of time in the car to talk about random things.
Lindsey and our travel mate, Kelsey, learned that I have a crush, to say mildly, on Trace Adkins. His hair is so beautiful and soft, guys. Okay? This was... I met him once, years and years ago. I was like 19 or 20. And we went to this concert and I got to meet him. And I straight up just asked to touch his hair. And it was fucking weird for everyone, but it was really soft. And... I had a crush on him before that, and I still have a crush on him 20 years later.
Is that truly the extent of your exchange with him, though?
Oh,
were
yeah.
Were you just like, I want to touch your hair? He let you touch it. And then your turn was done?
Basically, yeah. I'm the weirdest person, guys. I am very confident that you all know that I'm obviously a fucking weirdo, okay? When it comes to meeting celebrities or people who I perceive to be celebrities, I get even fucking stupider, to be honest. So like my favorite, just like drive home the point that I don't know how to behave in front of my heroes. Neil Gaiman, hands down my favorite author. I enjoy his storytelling. Everything he's ever written, I've loved it. I love when they make his works like into television and into film. Like, thank you. It's beautiful. They do a great job. And so I love Neil Gaiman. The last time that I had an opportunity to meet him was like 10 or 12 years ago. He was doing a book tour for Ocean at the End of the Lane. And I literally fucking forgot how to talk when I was face to face with him. My husband is standing next to me laughing at me because I 100% could not make my mouth work. He signed my books because there was a Post-it note that had my name in it. And we left. In the instant I was out of the room, just word vomit, all the things that I wanted to say to him. All of them came out while I was walking down the stairs of this building. I don't know how to behave in front of my heroes, guys. So there's that. I'm clearly not destined to know famous people, so I don't know how to function. Just an idiot. So stupid. But yeah, so Trace Adkins, I have a crush on him.
But when did that start, do you think?
I can always remember having a crush on him. I cannot pinpoint a time in my life where I knew who Trace Adkins was and did not think that he was A, a fucking hottie, and B, had a beautiful melodic voice that I wanted to listen to all the time. Okay?
I'm sorry if you say a fucking hottie. And I'm just picturing this man.
He's so handsome.
In a very
tall.
White trash mustache way.
Okay, well,
let's
don't forget that I was raised in the South. For the record, guys, Kayla is not out. We're moms, and this
And
is our lives.
She's about to create another human. I mean, she's been creating it, but it's about to be on the outside. And she's busy. And so she keeps just not being available, basically.
She'll come back. Don't worry.
She'll be here with all of her country knowledge that she gained in Athens, Ohio. For the most
This reminds me of, we sometimes will talk about if we won the lottery, what would we do with our money? Don't make fun of me, but one of the things that I would do with my money is get some friends, and all of us would dress up as various versions of Batman. Sorry, this
was the last thing I was expecting to hear.
No, we would dress up as Batman / Bruce Wayne and go to a smaller county fair, like just overbid on all of the animals that are for auction, and then just buy them like way more than what obviously kids thought they were going to sell them for. And so just 1 year miscellaneous county fair makes a fucking shit ton of money. And then we would donate all of our animals back so they could slaughter them or sell them or do whatever they're going to do with them, and then just leave. So we would just, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
With my
It's a
lotto
very
winnings.
charitable endeavor.
Yeah. I mean, I would.
It seems like you're complicating a bit with the costumes, but that's fine.
No, because I don't want them to know who I am.
You know what I would wear?
What?
I would wear a banana costume.
That would be. We could all go as fruit. It's fine. I'll be the grapes.
I just like any costume that your face is just the only thing that's showing.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic.
I have seen lots of pictures of you in banana costume, so do support. That's just one of the things I would do with my lotto winnings, is spend too much money at a county fair on animals that kids spent, a year racing.
That's a beautiful thing. Good for you. That's such a random. Most people are like, I'm going to donate to St. Jude's, or there are a lot of obvious charitable things that people could do if they won money, and you're like, no, listen, we're gonna be dressed up, we're going to a fair, and we're gonna surprise the shit out of these kids. What if some of them are already rich, though? Wouldn't you be pissed? They're just like doing it for funsies.
No, because they still put in the work.
What if they paid someone to do it and they're just there like pretending?
Okay, well, that's not my problem. That's the fair board's problem.
You have to vet these children.
If they check the fair board, like, because I mean the fair board analyzes those things, like they evaluate that stuff also. Fine, that's not the right word. Evaluates.
But you said analyzes.
I did say analyzes. I saw a TikTok this morning, and it's a kindergarten teacher who was showing a picture of a card that he got that says "Have Anus Day," like instead of a nice day. It's ANIS, have anus day.
That reminds me.
Apparently the theme of this Thursday is butts.
Reminds me of the picture that Calvin drew of a pin. A safety pin. And it straight up was just a little dick. I wish I could go find it right now.
I also saw a TikTok about a parent who's like, one of the hardest things about being a parent is when the teacher calls you about something that's bad but absolutely hilarious. And so then he shows a picture. One of his kids drew, he has twins that are in the same grade, and one of them drew a picture to the other one of a turd, just like a brown poop, and on the bottom it says it's a turd. And you can see there's an outline of a butt that's drawn above the turd but that is like erased out. Because he knew better. He's not supposed to talk about butts because those are private parts, so we don't talk about butts at school.
But you can talk about the things that come out of butts.
Yeah.
He skirted that. Good job, kiddo. Seriously.
Yeah. So Atticus, his first year in preschool, His teacher calls us Miss Devon. Bless her sweet, precious soul, to be honest. Okay. That woman, I felt bad for her by the end of the year, and she had my kid for 2 years. Okay. So during his first year, during 2-day preschool, he went to school one day, and some kid was pestering him, and he told that kid to bite his shiny metal ass. Because we let him watch the robots.
Ooh.
We let him watch Futurama, which he called the Robot Show. Yes, robot. Like robot. But with a butt. Which is also how Zoidberg says his robots. But that's beside the point. So yeah, my kid used to tell other kids to bite his shiny metal ass.
Wow, that's good.
Fucking youth.
But before we completely get off the topic of funny things that kids
The
do at
kids
school,
do and say.
You reminded me. Yeah, I got this email. Got this email from my son's kindergarten teacher saying, I just wanted to share, we've been having a bit of an issue with Calvin using inappropriate language. Specifically, he's calling his friends buttholes. And today had another instance where we were singing a song, Our Hands Are the Horses Trotting Out of Town, and he was laughing with Jake saying, let's crawl our horses into our buttholes. Miss Betsy and Miss Aubriana have talked with him about the issue on the playground, which is where he was calling the other boys buttholes. I talked with him today about how that may be the technical term for that part of the body, but the way he is using it is inappropriate. That is a private part of his body, and that if he needs to share about his butthole, he can talk with a trusted adult in a private way. I told him I would fill you guys in on this so that he could continue the conversations at home. Thanks for your help. And now I think I've set a record for how many times one can use the word butthole in an email. Oh my gosh.
Well, the word of the day today is butthole.
We don't have sponsors. We just have a word of the day because it's Sesame Street, folks. This is
The letter of the
PBS.
day is B. For butthole. Fine. Yeah.
So I wanted to...
Who's your celebrity crush? You called me out.
Well, no, I'm not done with Trace Adkins yet because...
Oh my God. Of course not.
Apparently, as a youth, a very young child, there was something about this man. I seriously need to Google him real quick. Hold on.
He's just so fun and handsome.
Oh, okay, no. Hold
Shut-
on. I gotta find some older pictures that'll hopefully help me feel a little bit better about your choices. No.
You probably won't, but...
You sound so dejected. You probably won't. Ooh, apparently he went through a little fat phase. When
he
was
did
this?
have he did have a fluffy face for a while.
What in the world? He looks like a totally different person there.
But
he must have been drinking a lot.
Probably. I mean, he's a country music star, duh. They're mostly just functioning alcoholics, okay, until they crash their car into something and then they have to go to rehab. And
oh my God.
That's the celebrity life, bro.
Hold on. I am getting
Shut up, I like when he wears tight pants.
I specifically clicked on the suggestion that Google came up with, which was a search for him without his hat on, because the hair that you love so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you ended up
judge away. I don't give a shit.
You ended up in the right area of the country as far as the kind of men that live in your town and how this guy looks. There's a lot of similarities. One without a shirt on. What is this? Oh, please, good Lord. Okay, so this is confirming what I thought, though, but I wanted to make sure that I wasn't talking shit without confirming the facts. So his hair is stringy. There's nothing majestic about it.
Yeah, it's very it's very thin. Yeah,
he has thin hair, and you were charmed by this.
It's
so
just
much
soft.
so that you needed to touch it.
Okay, so I'll have to find a picture of Liam from his youth,
who
also had the same long, thin hair.
Oh my God. Okay, so the theme of the day, aside from buttholes, is white trash. No, just joking. God.
I'll have to find a picture. Liam had long, thin hair. I didn't know him when he had long, thin hair. When I met him, he had like medium length, thin hair.
Because he was probably already balding and trying to not look weird about it.
Not quite. Not quite.
Not yet.
But he wasn't far off. He wasn't far off. We've been together for 17 years. We've been together a fucking long ass time, guys.
So he started balding after he married you. That's right.
Yeah, no one's surprised by this. It does track. Even I'm not surprised by this. Like,
no,
it's fine.
And you're like, oh well. So, sucks to be you.
Basically, right? Sorry about your luck, bro. Trace Adkins is also 6.5 feet tall, which is hot as fuck.
Okay, that's a thing. I will give him that because there's something about a very tall man. But it looks like his skin is a little leathery and he's got like that red tint to him. He's legitimately a redneck. Is he a ginger, technically? Kind of?
No.
Or is it just like dirty blonde?
This is a dirty blonde.
Yeah.
It's just light. But, I mean, you know, country living. It's hard on the skin. Okay, you've been out in the sun all that time. It's rough on the skin.
Yeah, because, you know, he's for sure. Does he live on a ranch or something at least?
He does now, yeah. I mean, I feel like he has for a good portion of time. But yeah.
This is
He's
fun.
like old country, you know, like before the. You know what I mean?
Before the bros started to infiltrate.
Yes. Yeah, he's like old country who actually, like, you know, can take care of his ranch. He definitely has help. He's not doing it by alone, but he's active.
He could probably lasso something.
Probably, yeah.
And Rae wishes it was
even
her.
If he, I mean, I'd say even if he can't, I'm gonna pretend that it's me. Trace Adkins, if you're listening, you can call me anytime you want. I'll put my phone number in the show notes. We can hang out.
If we actually put your number in the show notes, you're gonna get some weird calls.
So many weirdos are gonna call me.
But that's not unlike normal days, so.
Oh my guys. Well, we should do a little mini-series on that, where I just read all of the messages that I've exchanged with weirdos via text and or messenger.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fun. If you guys get text messages from strangers, like lately it's been like, I know I'm not the only one. I've talked to lots of people who have experienced this where like they'll get a message from somebody that's like, hey, what are we doing tonight? Or are we still on to meet at blah blah place? And then you reply like, no, question mark. And then we're like, oh, sorry, is this so-and-so? Well, I don't do that. I tell them yes. One person recently, I told them that their mom was probably disappointed in them. So, yeah. Sometimes they go on for a while because somebody thinks that they'll be able to turn me, right? And then usually I'll get agitated at some point and just be like, okay, does this scam work? For real, I want to know the numbers. How does this play out for you?
At what point does someone say, okay, here's my social security number, right?
So I'll straight up ask, does this work? And they're like, are you saying that I'm a scammer? You are. So I'm not going to do anything about it. I just want to know. I'm just curious. So what's up? They're like, you're fucking rude. I'm like, I'm rude. You started this. So yeah, that's fun for me. I actually really enjoy doing that. It's not so much on the messengers anymore, but I get it at least one a week on text message. I'm not hiding from anybody. So I'll fuck with you all day. I don't care. Bring it.
Speaking of all of that, I'm looking at all of my followers on Instagram because I have so many. And there's a bunch
I love
of
you, Lindsey, but a quarter of them are fake.
That's why I'm kind of bragging about it because it's not legit. But also because there are a bunch of knockoff profiles that try to pose as one of the Jonas brothers, and they'll send you messages, and it always says something like private and official accounts specifically for my best fans or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is so funny. And there's always one letter off. It'll be Kelvin Jonas instead of Kevin and stuff like that. Oh,
Nice.
man. But yeah, in one of my little fan groups that I'm a part of on the Facebook, all the girls will just post pictures of them like messaging these accounts back and messing with them.
Yeah. It's so fun.
That's just
It's so satisfying to just like string them along. Like, do you know how much of their time I'm wasting?
Right.
All of it.
right.
So much of it. I'm doing a service to
Yeah.
some idiot out there
Because
who would
while
fall for their
they're
bullshit.
while they're messing with you, they can't be messing with someone else, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There you
Just
go.
out here doing the Lord's work.
Speaking of Calvin and the Jonases, because of that show that I've been watching, The Righteous Gemstones. Did you ever start watching that?
I have not yet, but it's because I'm trying to finish Breaking Bad. I'm in the 5th season, so I'm getting close to moving on to a new show.
Yeah, that's an undertaking. It's a commitment to do that.
But yeah, no, I'm in the middle of season 5 of Breaking Bad, so like we're almost done because I think there's 16 episodes in the last season, and we really are probably on 6 or 7. So
okay. Well, I look forward to the day
I'm close
that we can talk about
and
The
my kids
Righteous Gemstones.
Well, my kids are out of town this week, so Liam and I watched like 3 episodes just yesterday.
Nice.
So, I mean, odds are good. I have to take recycling today, but I don't have anything else on my calendar for tonight. Maybe I'll get another 3 episodes in, and then I'll be so close.
Yeah. Well.
So close.
Yeah, but then you have Better Call Saul. You can take a break.
Yeah.
You can take a break.
Yeah, no, I'll take out. Yeah. I do love me some Saul Goodman, though.
There's only 3 seasons of The Righteous Gemstones, so
okay.
It's a quick one.
So that sounds like the perfect fall one, because I could kick through that.
You just need some Keith and Calvin in your life. That's all I'm telling you. Like, they're the best characters ever.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh my God.
I'll watch that before I start doing, because another long one that I have that someone has been hassling us to watch. Someone named Legal has been hassling us to watch Mad Men.
Oh my God. Okay, that will take forever. And also, you don't owe him any favors in this moment of your life.
In his defense, he has been asking me to watch this for like 3 years.
I don't give a shit. Right now is not the time to take him up on that.
Righteous Gemstones first.
It'll be quick and sweet, and it's funny as fuck. And Mad Men is not.
I watched like I think 2 episodes of Mad Men on a flight recently-ish. It must have been a long flight.
Are you sure? Yeah, they are. Where were you going?
No, it was so long ago. Do you know where? I'll tell you where I was going when I watched them.
Where?
Seattle.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Oh my goodness.
That's when I watched them.
Recently-ish? The other day? Or...
Yeah, that was like 4 years ago. Whatever.
No, it was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Was it that long ago?
It was pre-pandemic, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was recent.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
I've tried, okay? I tried.
It was.
And I didn't care about it then, so.
It was the Trump administration, okay? And let's hope there's not another one. Oh my goodness.
We're going to take 2 minutes to be political. I will not survive another Trump administration. I'll tell you that right now. Nope. No, thank you. I will move away. I'll burn my bookstore to the ground for the insurance money and then move to Italy. Okay.
Totally coming with you if you go to Italy. There are some of my favorite types of things there. Like men.
Italian men.
Wine. Food. There's a lot of good things there.
The best meal that I've ever eaten in my whole life, I ate in Milan.
I bet.
It was blueberry pasta. So the
Wow.
pasta was purple.
Mm-hmm.
It was gorgeous. And it had a lemon pepper chicken, butter sauce, little Parmesan. Girl,
That sounds so like,
so good.
and it sounds like it would be almost light and refreshing versus something that's going to weigh you down and
It was.
require a nap kind of thing. Yeah.
I literally shed a tear, like straight tear. I was speechless. It was so fucking delicious. I have been talking about this meal for 8 years now. It's the best thing I've ever eaten in my whole life.
Oh my God.
Could not tell you the name of the restaurant we were at. I could probably find it, like, because I know where we stayed and I know about where it was in relationship to where we stayed.
Hmm.
So I could walk around enough to probably find it again. But I looked for it on a map afterwards so I could follow them on the socials or like, just keep it in my brain, you know? No.
No.
Weird.
I was gonna say we all deserve more moments where we are brought to tears because life is so good. And I feel like more of those moments exist in countries that are not the United States.
Quite possible.
But
it's quite possible.
In countries where we don't love men that look like Trace Adkins.
Fuck you. I would still love him.
There's no one there that looks like him, kind of, sort of. And if they do, I'm a little worried.
Probably not. I cannot imagine that there's a Italian Trace Adkins out there.
Just like one of these things improbable. Are not like the other.
Does it? Okay, so speaking of Europe, though, one of my other things that I would do with my lotto winnings, this one's less weird, okay? Less obscure. I would buy like a really nice apartment that overlooks the Eiffel Tower. And I would make sure that it has a nice patio, like balcony area, so that I could sit on said balcony and drink wine and eat cheese and bread and just people watch all day.
Oh my God. Like, and get, yeah. And there are so many,
and smoke long cigarettes out of a cigarette holder.
And not die of cancer because you live in
a silk robe.
France. Yeah, let's do it.
That is the other thing that I would do. First, I would spend all my money I would invite Trace Adkins to fucking come with me to spend all my money at a goddamn local fair.
Wait, you would have
and then
him
I would move to Paris.
Dress up as Batman, and then you could dress up.
Fuck yes.
Yes.
I would dress up as Catwoman.
I was gonna say match made in heaven. Texas heaven. So here's a fun fact.
It's a little hot in here now.
That I just real quick want to share. Since we've been touching on Rae's white trashness and the fact that she's from the South, actually, and you can't, you can take a girl out of the South, but apparently
you can't take the South out of this girl. I love explosions too. I blow shit up all the fucking time. That's my literal favorite pastime. 4th of July, New Year's Eve. Guys, you don't understand the amount of money that my family puts into fireworks. I know they're so bad for the environment. Do not come at me because A, I don't give a fuck. And B, I spend the whole rest of the year being very conscious of recycling and reducing and reusing and making all the good environmental choices so that I can flush it all down the toilet 2 days a year.
Blow shit up.
Blowing things up. Yeah.
It's
I love it so hard.
It's the American way.
Yeah.
So
it is.
I mean, there are worse things you could do. So I used to go to parties with my parents where they were legitimately burning giant piles of old tires. I wonder why I got asthma. Oh, and
where did my asthma come from?
But this is so funny because I've been friends with Rae now for a hot second, and I never knew that she forced herself to unlearn, or no, she could probably still do it, but she talks like a normal person, quote unquote, versus her.
I'm good, yeah. Well, I do.
She's betrayed her roots with the way she speaks.
Yeah, it's like a fun game for me now. You can notice when I get real worked up, the y'alls and the ain'ts and that twang definitely creeps its way back in when I'm very emotional. But generally speaking, yeah, it's pretty mild. And now it's fun for me to intentionally throw a little Southern and Midwest into my general conversation, watch people be perplexed. It's fun for me. Another fun thing that I do, speaking of weird stuff, I call my husband by a different name all the time. They're all variations of his name, but I most frequently do this when we're meeting someone new, or I introduce him to someone new, or like when a salesperson comes over, like, and so when like people come in to do estimates and things, I will call him a different name every time I address him. So, there's like a Bill and a Will and a Billy and a Liam and a William and
Billy.
like just switch it up to all the variations that you could possibly imagine. And so by the time these people are getting ready to leave, they're like, thank you, Mr. Gosling, because they don't know what the fuck to call him anymore.
Hey,
and it makes me laugh.
I want to mention something because last week I had to give a ride. I give Uber / private rides at this point to random people that get my phone number from other random people that I've given rides to. And this person texted me. They had gotten into a car accident with their rental car, and so that's why they needed a ride, is because they didn't have a rental car anymore. And we live out in the middle of nowhere, and it's not like they could just like quickly resolve that issue. It was a nightmare, and they gave up and just hailed me to give them a ride. So this woman sends me a text message the night before I'm supposed to grab them, and she said, my husband, Ferd, and I, like Ferd, and I'm like, that must have been a typo, because obviously she meant to type Fred. What the fuck? But then Trevor and I started laughing because he's like Ferd Turgeson instead of Turd Ferguson.
Seems like Ferdinand.
Well, okay, so then I picked them up the next day, and it's this very nice old couple. And the guy gets in the car and he sits in the front seat and he puts his hand out and he's like, hi, I'm Ferd. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I just have to say that I really thought your name was Fred and that there was just a typo. And he's like, no, it's just a nickname. I'm like, a nickname? So why? Like, why is it just a nickname? So
Tell me more.
We're like in the car for over an hour because of me having to take them to the airport. And eventually I ask, because he had been talking about his family and upbringings in, I think, New Jersey or something. And finally was like, okay, so when did you get this nickname of yours? And now I don't even remember what his real name is, but it's nothing close to Ferdinand.
Not even close.
Not even close. And I guess he is called Ferd after someone named Ferdinand that his mom liked when they were sailors together, and it was not his dad, and they decided to call him Ferdy after this guy, which is weird. But
so maybe it is his dad,
right? Like, could be. But also, I just couldn't. I don't know. That's just a weird, like, don't go by Ferd if your name is Ferdinand. It just sounds weird. It sounds like Turd. Ferguson.
Peanut buttholes.
Yes. Keeping with the theme.
I like how we've come full circle.
Right?
Just keep throwing buttholes in there.
And
like a circle, because there's the circle.
The circle.
Like a tight butt. This is like a tight butthole. It's too tight. No, I guess that's right.
Did you watch that video I sent you of the guy with the watermelon? Explaining.
Oh, how if it has a tight butthole, then it's sweet. Yes. Darcy and Jer.
Yes,
fucking
I love
hilarious,
them so
okay?
much. Darcy and Jer are the best.
Yeah. They make me chuckle. I enjoy them.
They're the best. I love Canadians, and I love gays, and I love men that are stoners, and I love men that have ADHD, and it's like the perfect combination of all of that in one happy couple.
Pop quiz for my stoner husband.
Oh, what did I do?
My favorite one is when he has the shopping basket. He just like brought all his groceries home in the basket. He's like, oh fuck. He's like, I guess I'll return my rental.
Like the random things that he ends up doing to like not do the hard thing that he has to do, like repainting trim. Stuff like that. Like I feel that hardcore. I do feel like Darcy is a male version of me, pretty much.
Well, that's delightful.
And I am not Catholic, but we talked about New Jersey and Texas. And it's worth mentioning that my one true love, Nicholas Cherry Jonas, is actually, he was born in Texas, but grew up in New Jersey. And
look at that.
That is my celebrity crush since 2019.
Shocking.
Yeah, I don't know if there's no clues. If you're watching the video, there's nothing that indicates my love for him, but
nothing at all.
No
candles.
His wife's older than me, so it's not weird that he's like 10 years younger than me. It's fine. And Trace Adkins is probably way older than you
Super
at this
old.
point.
I'm pretty sure he's got kids that are my age.
Oh my god. Hashtag daddy issues.
Okay, so earlier in this conversation, I was gonna be like, he is such a zaddy, but I wouldn't have thought that like when I first. It is now. It's the term I'll use now. No regrets. He's got like a wide barrel chest. Like
yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
We can talk about the things that our men have in common and the things that are completely different about them, which is kind of funny because Nick Jonas is only 5'7". So he's a short king, as they say. Hey,
shorter than me.
I'm still shorter than him, so that's all that matters. Easier to reach, depending on which portion you're trying to reach. Logistically speaking, it works better that way. Oh my God.
I was just envisioning. I'll spare you the details of what I was envisioning. Point of the story is I need a step stool when I meet Trace Adkins.
Or not. Just better access to other parts.
So many dirty perv thoughts in my head right now. Guys, if I want him to bend me over and pull my hair, I'm gonna need a step stool, okay?
Yes. You might need like a stage. They both apparently have nice hair, but Trace Adkins is in the thin, stringy variety. And Nick's is like the thick Italian Guido variety. When he has it long on the top of his head and not shaved. And that's about it, I think. Those are like they both have like they're both beefy on the top, I would say.
You have like that like thick chest, yeah.
Yeah.
How tall is Nick Jonas? He's 5'7".
Yeah.
I needed to know. Yeah.
Well, my cardboard cutout back there, I ordered to be 5'7", so I would know how tall he is. And yeah. He's not actually life size though. They shrunk the picture. It's not. Yeah. But the height is correct.
Interesting.
It didn't work out.
Why would it not just be proportional? Like,
I know.
If it's the right height. Seems like it would be more work to make it not proportional.
His head is way smaller than a normal head. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe he does have a small head.
I don't think so.
You don't know. That's not true. You've been so close to that guy so many times you probably do know.
His head looks pretty normal sized compared to everyone else in his family. Which maybe they all have small heads. No. Because he's also been in movies with other regular people. It's fine. And I'm going to go see him in Broadway. I'm so excited.
Ooh.
So excited.
Average male height. What is the average height of a... Oh, 5'9".
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
What's the average You know,
Female height?
no, size of a male member.
I will look. Average male penis length. I'm going to specify length in my Google search here
Oh,
so that it doesn't just show me dicks. A flaccid, 3.6 inches. And
who's
erect,
interested in that?
5.1 inches.
Ew, only
I don't
5.1, that's average.
The average is 5.1 inches for an erect peen. Some studies say between 5.1 and 5.5.
No wonder we don't really need dudes in real life.
I have questions. I put US specifically. Let's
Ooh,
see if I
wonder
change
it
it.
changes. Why don't you look up Italy?
Okay. In the UK, it's closer to 6 inches.
Okay.
Well, I'm asking about Italy now. Hold on. Just give me a straight fucking answer. 5.7?
It's still
So
better.
slightly longer than here, but only barely.
It's still better though.
Yeah.
And because if you're talking averages, then
odds are you'll find a longer one.
Who is conducting these studies, by the way?
I don't know.
Because it's not like you're going to the doctor, and as soon as you've hit your maturity age, they're like, "Hey, will you get a boner so we can measure your dick so we can add this information to our database?"
It's just self-reporting, probably.
We have an actual comment on one of our episodes.
What was our comment?
Really understand it. So
perfect.
it says, hold on. Germy, but plural. So
germs. Germalerms.
But is that in response to geriatric millennials? Is that what we should be calling them?
Oh, maybe. Instead of gerlennials or gellennials.
Gellennials.
I don't like germies.
No.
Because I say germies when referring to the plural of germs.
And I don't like germs in general, so
yeah,
no thanks.
That's not a thing that you're into. Gerlennials. I stand by it.
Gellennials. And it also makes me think of Germans. I wonder how big their schlongs are.
I don't know if you have heard of this thing called the internet.
Well, you were already Googling that, and I'm just going to let you keep Googling that for the sake of your search history.
In Germany. Here we go. It's interesting. In the UK, they've actually broken this down by neighborhood. So we can know where to find the biggest teams by hood. Okay, here we go. Where was I looking? Germany.
Yeah.
Germany. Okay. Oh, Ecuador has the longest average penis size. It's actually 6.93 inches. Okay, France has 6.2. Italy is 6.04. Germany 5.72.
Still better than the US.
Yeah. The United States 5.35. The United Kingdom grossly inflated their numbers. They're only 5.17 according to this study.
No wonder they were escaping. They were seeking more opportunity.
It's all the tiny peens over there. It's because they don't want to put GMOs in their food, bro.
But how do we explain France and Italy having larger schwanzes? And Germany.
I don't even know where this study came from. Just a chart that I found.
I'm sure it's factual.
It is comparable to the other statistics that I have seen. So I'm sure it's close.
Now I'm curious about.
Okay, I'm curious about
the Netherlands.
Hold on. Average penis size by state as self-reported by men.
So that's already a crack of shit.
So apparently the men of New Mexico have the littlest peens.
Oh, okay. Well.
But the men of Michigan have slightly largish peens. Which states? That's Louisiana, Alabama,
Oh my God.
Alabama, Louisiana.
Roll Tide.
There's one. So there's 3. Oh, West Virginia.
So basically, where all of the meth heads are, the
Who don't
skinny,
actually know how to use numbers,
yeah, the skinny meth heads have the big dicks.
supposedly. Allegedly. That's how they self-report, at least.
Cool.
Michigan, it's a 6.5-inch average.
That's some
According...
BS.
Yeah.
That's only in the black population.
Girl. I mean, who does, though? Let's do a study on dick sizes.
It's important. It has everything to do with pedigree and the future of the human race.
Does it?
I mean,
Because I'm pretty sure how big your dick is does not directly translate to how viable your sperm is.
I don't know.
Those don't. I'm pretty sure those don't correlate.
Who has the micropene and is actually reproducing?
Okay, but that's not to say they couldn't physically reproduce.
Why
It's just improbable that they're going to have a natural opportunity to.
fight nature? They're trying to tell you something.
That's fair. How many more questions? Did I tell you that Ecuador has like the biggest
Yes.
team? Okay.
So I wonder if these regional differences also apply to vagina size.
Deep of vaginas.
Yeah.
So many more questions now. I got too many things in my life to do that aren't researching how long vaginas are. Jesus.
I have a very good friend named Kimmy from grad school who had a lot of difficulties growing up because of the size of her vagina, aka it's pretty small, apparently.
Shallow?
I don't know about, like, I never asked a lot of questions, but she had issues with feminine products and maybe some male partners because of the issue. And we had this joke, and she called it her baby princess. And she's married happily now, and that's good for them, but it also makes me wonder.
Makes you wonder how big his penis is. Or conversely, how small his penis is.
Yes.
How not big it is.
I'm sorry, Tyler, if you hear this.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sure you're a really great guy. That's beautiful. Okay, so now I've added that to my list of things.
We've been doing a little bit of our fart research, by the way, and it's not terribly surprising.
Tell me more.
I mean, if can't talk about this, not laugh. If your butt cheeks are a little spread apart for whatever reason, maybe you're like bending down to get something out of a cupboard or whatever, the tone definitely changes to being a little bit more flappy sounding.
What'd I fucking tell you? Thought I was crazy, didn't you?
But I do kind of actually want to start a spreadsheet because there are so many phenomena that can contribute to the change of sound. And some only females can experience. If you catch my drift.
Fucking vaginas.
like sometimes the farts go up instead of out.
Sometimes it creeps forward and you're like, whoa, excuse me. Hold, that's not where you belong. Sir, no thank you. Farts in the folds. Weird. It's weird.
In the flaps.
Fart
In the baby princesses. Or not. If you have
If you have a normal vagina, it's fine. Cavernous? That is the least flattering description of a vagina hole. Cavernous. Like there might be a bat in there.
Or in some cases, like mine, fucking, what are they called? What are those things? Tumbleweeds.
I'm really concerned about what you were going to say. Tumbleweed is not what I was expecting, but honestly, it's probably the best of the options that were in my brain. I was unsure. To be honest, because we were talking about caverns, like, might be like a bear.
No, Mine's just a windy desert. Barren, windy desert. And it's okay. I actually prefer it that way. Please leave me alone.
Don't go at her in the comments, guys.
Unless your name is Nicholas Jerry Jonas.
And then she absolutely will lube that shit up for you. Part of it will be desert like.
I'll get the tumbleweeds out first.
Do a little landscaping.
Oh my God.
I honestly wonder why people listen to us. We're so weird. Thanks, guys.
I don't know. Other people are also weird on the podcast world, so
That's true. Before we wrap up celebrity crush things, I have a funny thing that I want to share. Okay, several months ago, we're at Rolling Oak, #best beer, and somebody brought up celebrity crushes, and I tease Liam about this all the time. Liam's longtime celebrity crush is Kat Dennings, and someone who was at the table was so fucking cute, and they're like, "Oh, so your husband's celebrity crush is you?" And I was like,
nice. Yeah.
that made my heart happy.
That's amazing.
That's all. My husband's celebrity crush is me.
That's pretty.
I'm not Kat Dennings. I do have big tits though, so
That's a thing.
yeah, that is a thing.
And you have
Okay,
some tats.
that's all.
You have some tats.
I do. And got some tats. My hair's not nearly dark enough, but I guess it could be. But tell me about 311. How was that? You look so cute in all your pictures.
Oh, thanks. So
Like you look like you're having like a really good time.
I mean, it was a good time, actually. But 311 is, if you haven't heard of them, they're a band that's been around for fucking ever and have like a million albums. And they
are better than Nickelback. So
way better than Nickelback and better than Creed. Sorry, not sorry. Their album list is so long and they just keep making music and it's incredible. They're from the worst state in the Union, Nebraska.
I thought you were going to say Florida.
No, Nebraska is way worse than any other place ever. And you should know that, being from Colorado. You've driven through Nebraska, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah, it is boring as fuck.
It's the worst.
For sure.
And it smells like straight up hot manure.
I actually have very strategically planned my stops in Nebraska when I do drive through it. We stop in Omaha, and that's it.
The only place that's worth existing in. Otherwise, don't go to Nebraska. But they're from
also,
Omaha.
Peyton Manning yells it a lot, but go on. They're from Omaha.
They are. And generally speaking, their following is, I mean, they range in age, but mostly geriatric millennials and up because they've been around since we were youngins. And I used to go see them all the time when I was a youth. I have been going to concerts my whole life. Even when I was a kid, I was going to concerts with my parents. And so I've seen them a good handful of times, but the last time I saw them, I think I was still in high school. I actually partied with them one time in Detroit too, so that was really cool. But anyway,
that is super cool.
I mean, whatever. I've partied with a lot of pseudo celebrities that some people would consider celebrities, right? Like Chris Bathgate is a celebrity to me, and he was on our podcast.
I agree.
Right.
He is a celebrity.
So, yeah, anyway, it had been a long time, but the last time I saw them, it was the weirdest show because it was 311 and Jay-Z. What a combo.
Yeah.
And
interesting.
Their audience is known for getting baked out of their minds. Just the entire show is just a giant cloud of weed smoke. And so Trevor and I were doing our part in preparation for the show.
Contributing to the cause. Good job.
And outside of Interlochen, which is a very prestigious art school / summer camp for the arts, but also they have performing arts spaces where bands like 311 can play sometimes.
My sister-in-law, April, who listens to the podcast, went there at the same time as Jewel.
Oh, yeah. And that's cool. Did she go to see Jewel when she was just there?
No, she lives in Tennessee now.
Yeah, if you listen to music at all, you're probably listening to someone who went to Interlochen. I'm just saying, because people come from all over the country to go there. So that gives you the vibe, though. It's pretty snooty for the most part and sophisticated. And we're in our car, parked on the side of the road, not even in a parking lot, getting so high and just living it up, listening to 311, just like so excited to live some of our younger days. And I definitely, like Rae did the night of her crazy bread excursion, I took probably 3 too many hits because I was just so excited. I really wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. And so I got like uber high and unintentionally. So then it's like, oh shit, we should probably walk to the venue so that we can see the concert we came for, because that's why we're here. And part of while we were smoking, we got a little piece of bud stuck in our pipe, and Trevor was trying to get it out, and he was like hitting it on the door. Whatever we did, we couldn't get this little piece of weed out, and it was like burnt, and it just needed to go. We needed like some fresh hits. So I gave him my keys, and I was like, hey, just put the key in there and scrape it out. So finally that worked, and we took a couple more hits, and then we're trying to leave. And so I can barely walk, I can barely function. Then I'm like, oh yeah, we're not supposed to take bags into the venue. And so I'm trying to put all of my belongings into my pockets that I need for the concert, because I didn't bring one of my, one of the clear bags that you're supposed to have at a concert venue. Because why would I be prepared?
I have like 5 fanny packs like that, bro.
I have so many too, but I just didn't do my homework before we left, because I don't know.
Shame.
I know. And everything seems complicated and rushed. Trevor's anxiety is starting to kick in, so he's like, we gotta go, let's go. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm panicking, trying to get stuff in the trunk so people don't see my purse and stuff. And I start to walk away from the car, but then I'm like, wait a minute, I can't lock it. Where'd my keys go? And so I'm like, Trevor, do you have my keys? He's like, no. And so I go in the car, I move the seat all the way back, and I look under the seat, and I move it all the way forward, and I look under the seat from that perspective. I'm digging around in the trunk, digging around in my purse. Trevor comes back to the car because he was like peeing in the woods at one point. And there was a bag of snacks on the floor that I had opened to look into. And I saw some keys in it, but I thought they were Trevor's keys. And so I kept looking because those were not my keys. I feel like I went round the car about 10 times, just looking in every nook and cranny that I could possibly look in. And we were about to give up. We were about to just leave it unlocked. And he went in and looked in that snack bag, and he pulled the keys out. And he's like, this is what you're looking for, isn't it? And I'm like, those are your keys. And I'm like yelling at him. I'm like, those are yours. He's like, no, they're yours because you gave them to me to scrape the weed out of the pipe. And I was like, oh my God. And like, that was like minutes before all of this started happening. And we both were so high that we just could not function. And we thought we lost the keys, and they were right there.
Good
It's
job, buddy.
so stupid.
I'm so proud of you.
I felt really special in that moment. And I will say also, I was really disappointed in the amount of weed smoke that did not float up into the air from the Kresge Auditorium. It happened, but it was like, we're getting old, folks. Apparently people aren't smoking as much, and maybe they're doing edibles instead.
Yeah.
AWOL Nation opened, and I have never heard of that band, because
I have heard of that band, but that seems interesting.
It was. And then when their one hit got played, I was like, I know that song. And I was so excited, and I was filming, and Trevor, I was like, what band is this again? He's like, AWOL Nation. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I feel like this song is in like rad video game commercials because that's like the vibe.
You use the word rad?
I did. What do the kids say nowadays?
I honestly
not
have no
rad.
fucking clue. Not rad. They don't use that word. I think it's
Fire.
I don't know.
That's
I have
fire.
no idea.
Or dope.
100, keeping it like that's 100. I think that's a thing.
Like Virginia Slims? Like, like a 100 length cigarette?
Oh,
I know.
like keeping it 100.
Like 100%? Like, good?
I guess. No cap. That means no lie. I know that one.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
I have two teenagers,
no
and
cap.
I only know half the things they say.
No cap locks? Like, I'm not screaming at you from my keyboard.
Yeah,
Also,
because some things are all cap.
yeah, like my life.
And then there's no cap is like bad.
Okay, boomer moments on Facebook. We have a friend who legitimately only writes her status updates in all caps.
Oh my word.
And it's always like, do you know if there's a garage sale on so-and-so road this week? Like, why are you posting that as a status update?
No, Rhonda, we don't know. Christ.
I don't know what that.
So when you were talking about getting high in the car with your husband, the first thing that came in my brain was us sitting in the car drinking warm beer, Jonas Brothers.
It was warm, wasn't it?
It was.
That was nasty.
It was such a good time.
But I was so drunk after that.
Yeah, and then we tried to pee in those so full porta potties.
I feel like that porta potty, I was legitimately sitting in shit.
Mine wasn't as bad as yours, but it was definitely too full.
And I was drunk, and I've never had to pee so bad in my life. And like trying to hover and not dip my clothing and or my body in the other things in that porta john.
Yeah.
I will never, like, if I die and go to hell, it's gonna be that porta john. Because to make it worse, it was so fucking humid and hot.
It was uncomfortable. Yeah.
That was the worst.
Because the storm had just come through, so it was still like the air was thick. Like,
thick. So it's like thick air, and you're breathing in other people's turd smell. Which, since we covered that on this podcast, I was legitimately breathing in other people's poop particles into my nose.
I don't know if I sent you this reel the other day, but if you fart and then you smell your own fart, is it just your fart going back in your body? So stupid. It's so stupid. Like you just farted it out and then you smelled it, so it's back in.
I think you just broke my brain. I can't handle it.
Fuck you, internet. God damn. I would never think about that until some rando on the fucking internet is like, why? And here I am repeating it to you. So it works. The internet's obviously doing its fucking job. Yeah.
So if you smell your fart and you're like taking it back in, then you just recycle it. Does it come out even more stinky the next time around?
I don't know. Like how do we know it even comes out as a fart next time?
You burp out a fart?
Yeah, or maybe it just like gets like stuck in the mucus in your nose and then you blow it out because you have a runny nose.
Or maybe it just seeps into your cells.
It's in your blood. Yeah. And then it just has to wait until it peels off in your skin.
And then you're sleeping in your fart skin cells.
We're all just giant farts.
That's all we are. Why you need to change your sheets regularly. Dust and vacuum your house frequently. Because otherwise, it's not just your farts. All the people.
Everyone's farts.
that live in
It's
your
everyone's
house.
farts. And your pets. And whoever you invite over, because you know they're farting in your house too.
No, they're going on toot walks, okay? They better. Don't be farting in my house.
Toot walk. I'm going to make a point to fart in your house now every time I come over.
I pay the mortgage. It is my privilege to fart in this house.
Bring presents so that I can pay for the privilege to fart in your house. Got it. Duly noted. Speaking of things that I pay for that are dumb. So Legal's office is right across the street from Rolling Oak. And Grayling has a social district. So you can walk around with your drink. So sometimes, because I'm not great at walking and drinking, I'll be walking along and I won't finish my drink like before I get to Rolling Oak, and it'll be like half full. I'm not gonna slam this before I go into Rolling Oak and have, 3 fucking 8% beers. Not doing it. I know better. So I leave my drink on the windowsill at Legal's office, and then I Venmo him $1 for rent, and I take a picture of it.
I have never seen this Venmo activity on my feed. Do you have
Liam
it private?
Well, I don't have Venmo. No, Liam sent it.
Goddamn. I need to make No, I think I've Venmoed him before for something.
Liam, I'm pretty sure Liam's Venmoed you. For fundraiser raffle.
You're right. It was gambling. Yeah. I know him so well.
You do. We recently had to take the poker apps off his phone again.
Mr. Billy's getting in trouble. You know what else I see on the Venmo feeds that, for whatever reason, makes me laugh every single time? And I brought this up in our group chat that started this podcast, and Kayla seemed a little perturbed, but I'm going to bring it up again so she has a reason to listen and refute what I'm about to say. So, I need to know, everybody that listens, if you go to a cute little roadside stand at a farm that is selling you some vegetables, do you think that you're buying vegetables that person grew themselves? Usually, I always make that assumption that person has some doings about like that piece of food that you're buying from them, right? Like, so Kayla may be growing some food on her farm because she has a farm and it's little and cute. But she also is selling a bunch of stuff from her roadside stand that she has purchased from the Amish. And if she can buy it from the Amish, why can't other people just go buy it from the Amish?
Maybe they just don't like to deal with the general public. Like maybe they just have like a couple of people that have these little stands that they work directly with.
Okay, if it's a legit outlet for their product and that they know that they're selling it to Kayla, who's then going to up the price and make money off of it, then that's fine. And maybe that's what Kayla's going to come on and tell us is happening. But in my stupid head, I picture Kayla buying this food that has been grown by these very nice Amish people and then price gouging innocent people that drive by her roadside stands. And they're always paying her on Venmo, and it's so funny. And
it's convenient.
I always heart the transactions. Like Mary Jo Rolfes 2 hours ago, she bought some veggies from Kayla, and Kristen Jaskowski, she bought something from the farm stand 8 hours ago. So she's making bank.
I hope that every time someone sends her a Venmo, that all they do is send a picture of an eggplant.
Kelly Evans Defoe bought veggies.
I would just put an eggplant every time.
It keeps going. Megan Nichols bought some veggies. She did put emojis on that one.
Perfect.
Rebecca
Were
Blackner.
any of them eggplants?
No. It was a garlic.
Peaches.
A garlic, and peaches do look like butts on here.
They do. They absolutely do.
Garlic and corn on the cob. Corn on the cob makes me think of Donald Trump's hair. Brooke Pitcher got corn. I mean, there's like so many of them, and I always heart all of these transactions. And I wonder if Kayla ever sees it and she's just like, fucking stop it, Lindsey. Like, and all these random people are like, who's this girl? Like, why does she even care that I bought vegetables? I don't know.
I don't recall this conversation. I agree. We probably did have it. Like, it seems vaguely familiar. But I would assume that there's not like a huge markup and that this is like a legit thing that the Amish are just like they don't want to deal with it.
They're like, here you go.
Because they're probably
do our dirty work.
They're probably not using Venmo. Like, she's probably paying them cash so that they don't have to deal with that.
That's legit.
I do hope that she comes back and answers us one day.
We need to know. Are you ripping people off, or is this just a wholesome arrangement?
But also, if it's like convenient for them, is it worth the extra fee? Like, is it worth the difference that they're paying to not have to go to the grocery and to just be able to snag it literally when they pass by her house on their way to their own?
Right. And it is still technically local and fresh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just not from the place that you're actually buying it at.
It's not from that yard. It's from a different yard.
She has some repeat customers on here too, which is great for her little business. Look at you, Kayla.
Yeah. Good job,
making
buddy.
bank. This is before your OnlyFans kicks off and starts making you millions. So
it's true.
Peach emojis. I really underestimated how much it looks like a butt. And I have an emoji after everyone's name in my contacts because I want it to look more interesting than it does. Like, I don't want just a list of names. I want names and colorful things. So after you, it's a unicorn. Oh. And I mean, it's like colorful and it matches you in general. After my friend Chelsea, it's a hamburger and a crown because we used to work at Burger King together.
Clever.
Yeah. After Christian Bathgate, it is a peach because he really likes peaches and he has songs about peaches, but it looks like a butt and I think I need to change it because it just makes me feel weird.
I was very much going to assume that his name was the one with the peach by it. Just so you know.
Really?
I was gonna be like, I wonder who has a peach by it. Is it Chris? Because yeah.
I have the heart eyes emoji next to Trevor. So I mean,
that seems very appropriate for Trevor.
Yeah. Okay.
Next week, bad tattoos. I'm gonna try and find out the average depth of a vagina. Hopefully a follow-up on Meredith.
Maybe Trace Adkins will call you. We'll see.
That would be fucking delightful. I'll put my email address in there.
Maybe we can have him on as a guest.
Do that.
Have that documented, please. You can't touch his hair on this because he'll be on a computer screen. So for Trace. So up your game.
I love you.
Bye.
Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Okay, bye.
If you enjoyed this episode of Double Chin's Wagon and would like to support the podcast, please share it with your friends, post about it on the socials, or leave a review. You can also comment or answer some of our poll questions. To catch all the latest from us, you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Double Chin's Wagon. Thanks again. We will see you next time.